So here's the thing. Americans just aren't having as many babies these days. Since the 2008 financial crisis, birth rates have been dropping like crazy, and it doesn't look like things are going to turn around anytime soon. This has got demographers scratching their heads, and economists seriously worried. The deal is, America's strength has always been partly because of a steady flow of young people. Without enough young workers, the economy could really struggle, especially with fewer people to fill jobs and pay into Social Security for the older folks. So what's going on here? Why are so many young adults deciding not to have kids? Let's dig into the reasons behind this trend and see what's really driving the decision to hold off on starting families. Childcare expenses are a major headache for a lot of American families. Just look at the numbers from a NerdWallet survey. 20% of parents say childcare is their biggest financial stress. And it's no wonder. Parents are shelling out more than $631 a month per kid on care. For 21% of families, that number shoots up to over $1,000 a month. That's more than some people pay for rent or a mortgage. These costs aren't just numbers, they're taking a real toll on parents' mental health. Imagine juggling work, bills, and then dropping $1,000 a month just so you can go to work. It's exhausting. A report from Parents and Verywell Mind found that 43% of dads who felt at least moderately stressed said childcare was a big part of that stress. It's hard to focus on anything else when such a huge chunk of your income goes to daycare. It gets worse. A Care.com report showed families are spending an average of 24% of their household income on childcare, with more than a third dipping into their savings to make it work. Savings! That's supposed to be for emergencies or a rainy day, not just to cover the basics of childcare. With these kinds of financial pressures, it's no surprise many parents are thinking twice about having more kids. And let's not forget about the outrageous cost of living. If you want to live where the jobs are, be ready to pay through the nose for housing. Urban areas with ample job opportunities often come with exorbitant housing costs. Renting or buying a place is a serious financial commitment, and it's not getting any cheaper. Add on healthcare costs, student loans, and everyday expenses, and you've got a recipe for financial disaster. Healthcare alone can be a huge expense, especially if your job doesn't offer great benefits. And student loans? Those monthly payments can be a huge chunk of your budget, leaving little room for savings or spending on anything else. It doesn't help that zoning laws are driving up housing prices, making it nearly impossible for people to get a foothold and start families. These laws often limit the number of affordable housing units, pushing prices up and up. On top of that, one unexpected setback, like an illness, a car accident, or getting laid off, can wipe out your savings. This financial insecurity makes the idea of raising kids even more overwhelming. You're constantly worried about the what-ifs and how a single event could derail your entire financial plan. Job stability? Good luck with that. Many jobs don't pay well and offer minimal benefits, making it tough to save and plan for the future. The gig economy is booming, but those jobs often don't come with health insurance, retirement plans, or any kind of job security. Anti-union practices and efforts to bust unions make it even harder for workers to improve their conditions. Without the collective bargaining power of a union, workers are left to fend for themselves, often working long hours for low pay. This job instability and lack of worker protections create an environment where starting a family can feel like an unaffordable luxury. Many people are stuck in low-paying jobs with little hope for advancement. They're overworked, underpaid, and struggling to make ends meet. In this kind of climate, it's hard to even think about adding the financial and emotional responsibilities of raising children. It's no wonder many are choosing not to have kids. It's not that they don't want families, it's that the financial and emotional toll seems too high. Until these issues are addressed, the trend of young Americans opting out of parenthood is likely to continue. The way we think about family and having kids has really changed over the years. A lot of people are now choosing to focus on their careers, personal growth, or other interests before thinking about starting a family. It's becoming more and more common to delay marriage and having kids because there are just so many other things people want to do first. One big reason for this shift is that more women are pursuing higher education and entering the workforce. This is awesome because it means women have more opportunities, but it also means that starting a family gets pushed down the priority list. Balancing a career with raising kids is tough. Some women decide to have fewer kids or to wait longer before having them so they can focus on their careers. Many women have spent a lot of time and money on their education, and they want to put that investment to good use. Plus, having two incomes makes living a bit easier financially. So giving up a career to focus on kids can feel like a huge sacrifice. And let's be real, the pressure is intense. Many businesses, including government jobs, don't look kindly on women having kids. Women can miss out on promotions, get stuck in less important roles, or even get fired just for having children. Meanwhile, some executives can take months off to relax, but won't grant maternity leave to their employees. For ambitious women or those with specialized skills, giving up a career for a child can be a tough pill to swallow. There's also this economic hurdle. Careers can stall when women become mothers. It's almost like people can't afford to have single-income households anymore. But they also can't find the time to raise children when both parents are working full-time. This creates a huge dilemma. Women face a lot of economic obstacles when they become mothers. Their careers can take a hit, which isn't just unfair, it's a massive stressor. Parenthood is hard everywhere, but it's uniquely tough in the US because American parents have almost no support. Let's start with paid parental leave. Most American workers don't get it, unless you work for a private sector employer who decides to offer it, and that's usually only for the highly skilled and highly paid. You're out of luck. This means that a lot of new parents have to go back to work almost immediately after having a baby, which is incredibly stressful and exhausting. Imagine welcoming a newborn and then having to figure out how soon you can go back to work without any paid leave. This is the reality for most American parents. The lack of paid parental leave forces many parents to make a heartbreaking decision: stay home to care for their newborn and risk financial instability, or go back to work immediately and miss those crucial early months with their child. This dilemma is especially tough for low-income families who can't afford to lose any part of their income. If you do go back to work, then comes the hurdle of affording childcare. Many parents end up spending a significant portion of their income just to ensure their kids are taken care of while they work. For a lot of families, it's almost like paying for a second rent or mortgage. It's always struck me how those political quarters that idealize the family as some universal truth have no understanding of how stable, procreating family life depends on these policies. They deride these necessary policies, which in reality help ensure that families can thrive. If you want families to grow, you need to support them with things like accessible childcare and the right to take time off to care for newborns without worrying about losing your job or taking a huge financial hit. Historically, high levels of unionization have resulted in better pay and job security for workers. Unions have fought for and won benefits like paid family leave, reasonable working hours, and job security that make it feasible for workers to start and support families. However, with the decline in union membership and the rise of anti-union sentiments, these benefits are becoming scarce. This lack of job security and adequate pay makes it even harder for young adults to consider starting a family. Adding to the economic pressures are existential threats that young adults face today. like climate change and economic instability. There's a general belief that the government is either unwilling or incapable of addressing these issues effectively. This lack of faith in governmental support adds another layer of anxiety for young adults considering having children. They worry about what kind of world they would be bringing their children into and whether they would be able to provide a stable and secure future for them. It's not rocket science. If parents had the support they needed, like parental leave, flexible working hours, and no career penalties for having children, more might feel like they could balance having a family and a career. Until we make those changes, it's no surprise that many young adults are choosing to delay or forego having kids altogether. They're looking at the lack of support and thinking, why would I put myself through that? And who can blame them? If we want to change this trend, we need to start supporting parents better.